Hi there, my name's Andy Hillier and today's guitar lesson is going to be on the awesome track 2 Minutes to Midnight by one of my favourite bands, Iron Maiden. It's a cool track, it's relatively easy to play on the guitar, it's a bit fast. I'm going to teach you it all apart from the guitar solos. But just before I do, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, give me a like on the video, press the notification so you see when my new videos come out. And I do love to hear from you, and I do read every comment, so leave me some comments in the comment section, including what songs you want me to do next. And if you love what I'm doing, you want to support me, support the channel, and you want to print the tabs off for this, then I'll put them on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link to that in the description. My guitar is in standard tuning. Okay, so the intro, the main riff that comes in, goes like this. So to play that, we're going to play the open A string twice, but we're going to palm mute it. So you rest this bit of your hand on the beginning part of the strings, so you get the... Okay, so 2 open A's, palm muted. We're then going to play D5 and G5 at the same time, so 2 fingers on that. So you got... We then do another 2 A strings, palm muted. And then we're going to do D7 and G7. So you got... Then another 2 more A's palm muted. So the whole bar, first bar. We then go back to 5 on the D and the G strings. 2 more palm muted A strings. And then D7 and G7 again. And then take those 2 fingers down to G7 and B7. And put a bit of vibrato if you can. So just shaking them, get that vibrato sound. If you can't do that, just play them. It will still sound cool. Okay, so the first 2 bars go slowly. Bit faster. Up speed. Into bar 3, and it's the same as bar 1. And then into bar 4, we play the D5 and G5. 2 open A's, palm muted. We're then going to play an A power chord, so D2 and G2, but you're going to play the A string as well. Okay, so bar 4 goes. So the whole line slowly goes. Bit faster. Up to speed. And that repeats, so you play that round a few times all through the intro until you get to the verse. Now there's 2 parts in the verse. The first line of the verse is almost the same as what we've done, but slightly different. It sounds like this. So it starts the same. Open A string twice, palm muted, the D5 and G5. Open the A twice, the D7 and G7. Open A, D5 and G5. Open A twice again. And then it doesn't go down to the G and B strings. It just stays on the D and G on the 7th fret and goes. So 3 hits on that. So the first 2 bars of the verse go. Bit faster. Up speed. And then the next part of it starts the same. So you go down to the A chord. We just get an extra, an A, A3, A on the end. So bars 7 and 8 go. So the whole line goes. And repeats. Up to speed, it will sound like this. So like I say, you play that line twice. It then goes on to the next line of the verse. I'll put it as verse part 2. And it goes... So it starts the same. The first 2 bars are the same. But then plays the D string twice, palm muted. Then play G7 and B8. 2 more palm muted Ds. And then G7 and B7. 2 more Ds. So you got... And then D5 and G5. Open D. Then D5 and G5. Going to hit it another 5 times, go. So bar 12 goes. Okay, so those 2 bars, bars 11 and 12 go. Bit faster. Up speed. So the whole of that line goes. And up speed. And that line repeats as well, so that's the second line of the verse. We then go on to the next line, which is the bridge, and it sounds like this. So for that, D2 and G2, 3 A's palm muted. So you got. We then go to G5 and D7, 2 more palm muted. And then we've got the same D5 and G7, but we're going to put our second finger on the B6. We're going to hit that twice, once in that bar, once in the next bar. So the first 2 bars of the bridge slowly go. Okay, then we go D5 and G4, 3 open A's. Then another hit on the D5 and G4. 2 A's, and then D5 and G5. So you got, and then get this little bit that goes, which you play the D5 and G5. Make sure you're using your second and third fingers, and put your first finger on G4, because you play the D5 and G5 and pull off to your third finger off to the G4. We then hit it and slide down to frets D3 and G2. Okay, so the whole of that line slowly goes. Up speed. On to the next line. And we've just slid down to the 2 and 3, so D3 and G2. So we hit that, 3 open A's, the D3 and the G2 again, 2 open A's, and then D3 and G3 this time. So bar 17. Similar kind of pull off that we did before. So we play the D3 and G3 and pull off to the G2. Okay, so the first 2 bars of that line go. We then play a C power chord, which is A3 with the first finger, D5 and G5. It then goes to D5 and G4. So it goes. Okay, so the whole of that, sorry, not the whole of the line, it's bars 17, 18, 19 and 20 go. That will then repeat back and play the previous line, and then play this line up to the first 2 bars, so 17 and 18. But instead of playing bar 19 on the repeat, we just play an E power chord. So we go to bar 21, second time bar, and play open E with D2 and A2. Then there's a little hit on the end that open A and D5, which is part of the chorus. We'll see that in a second. So hopefully that bridge makes sense. So you play the first line of the bridge, then you play this line, bars 17, 18 and 19 and 20. And then you go back and play the first line of the bridge and play bars 17, 18, jump over and play bars 21 and 22. Okay, so let's try and put the whole bridge together. We'll do it slightly slowed down. Here we go. 3, 4. Repeat. Okay, so that's the bridge. We then go on to the chorus. So I'm going to play the first notes in the brackets. They're held on from the previous line, but I'm going to actually play those. So they're the last semiquaver before the beat. So the chorus sounds like this. So for that, D5 and open A string. We then play the open A string and D7 4 times. Then pull off to the D5. So you played the A7 and A open and D7. Pull off to the D5. Then play A7 on its own. So you've got, and it does that twice. We then play a C power chord, which is A3, D5 and G5. Then go up a string to a G power chord, E3 with A5 and D5. These are all hitting on the last semiquaver of the beat. We then play a D power chord, which is A5 with D7 and G7. Then add your second finger onto B6, and that creates a D minor chord. We then go up to the F power chord, A8 with D10 and G10, then up 2 frets to a G power chord. So the whole line slowly goes, including the hit before it goes. Up to speed. And that line just repeats, you play it twice, and then you go back to the intro riff, verse, the 2 lines of the verse, bridge, and then this chorus. Guitar solo, and then it just jumps back to the riff, verse, bridge, chorus, and then that's the end of the song. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed that guitar lesson and found it fun and useful. If you have, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, it really does help me out, as does giving me a like on the video. Give me the thumbs up on the video. The more comments, the better as well. Just say hi if you want to say hi. Let me know where in the world you're from. Let me know what songs I should do next. And if you love what I'm doing, you want to support me, keep me going, keep me doing this, and you want to print the tabs off of this, then I'll put them on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Also, come and give me a follow on Instagram. I'm at Andy Hillier Guitar. Well, thanks for watching this. I do really appreciate it. I've been Andy Hillier, and I'll see you next time.